Well, I think I would say I had a very lucky childhood. Though I was born in a humble family. I'm born in a humble family, but what we had seen, what we had witnessed from the childhood, is living with that nature, living with the real life, which every element of it, whether going to, take a bath in the river for hours, or going to play football, or going to school, walking for 4 hours, walking to 4 kilometers to attend a middle primary school. Every element of that and every season of our life, everything has influenced as an artist, not only as a filmmaker, but any artist, it influenced you, the colors, the characters, the people we live in. If you see all my film, every film has an element of me in my films. So whether it starts with I Am Kalam or Jalpari or even today Kaun Kitne Pani Mein, it all have some way or other you see me inside that film. Well, this is what something we have to realize. Suddenly we as an Indian, sitting on 2015, especially in last say 10 years or something, we thought that we have really grown fast. India has developed really fast. We have nuclear power, we have money, and we have become really arrogant about it. But the fact remains is there's something called nature. There's something which you have to live with. The earth has its own ecosystem which you cannot disturb. So when it comes to drought, we had seen a drought years back, which was 3 decades drought in 70s and 80s in Kalahandi Bolangir area. What was that drought? I mean, there was of course little rainfall. As human, you might not be able to stop a disaster, but at least you can, protect yourself from that by keeping the nature intact with yourself, with the humanity. So today what we are facing, especially this year, if you look at the drought scenario today, it is exactly the same thing what years back we had seen. Probably we haven't learned after facing so many droughts or natural disaster even. So eventually, as a filmmaker, I would never, as a filmmaker or citizen or a human, I would never wish for a drought like this. Even the film what I have made, I wish we should learn. There are 2 stories in the film. If you see there, the Upari village and Nicha Gaon. Okay, so Berry Gaon, which is the lower village, we should learn what the Berry people have done. They saved that little bit of water. They saved that nature. They learn how to share and care. If that much we learn, probably we can face if a drought comes like this even. Not depending on government always, but we ourselves can find a way to fight that, which is how a film like Kaun Kitne Pani Mein works here. If you see the film, it is a pan-India film. Of course, the story is set in Kalahandi Bolangir. What is pan-India is there is a situation of Maharashtra even, in our district in Maharashtra where there were villages for sale because of this reason only. The repeated failure of agriculture, there was drought, there was no water. What would they do? They would sell up the village, migrate to another place to find jobs. So I would say it's not only Kalahandi Bolangir, it is just metaphorically we have used that, but it is happening all over the country today. Go to Bundelkhand, go to Marathawad, everywhere is the scenario. It's high time we need to figure out the way to learn how to protect ourselves from all this disaster. Well, frankly, today's audience has changed, and audience change every day in a way. If you remember, suddenly early 2000, the whole saga started running in TV. It went on to a period, then suddenly boomed. Everything has its own period. In fact, if you see really India is one of the biggest cinema loving country, and we produce one of the largest cinema producing country also. But because it is largely the main entertainment source. Industry has been giving pure sort of entertainment. It can be mindless comedy, it can be horror, it can be anything. But somehow what I have seen, the changeover in last 4-5 years is audience is going to another step. They become mature. They're looking more towards content. It's it's beginning of it though, but still what I see is audience wanted really content based cinema. Whether it's rural or urban, it doesn't matter. But they want to see real India. They want to see the real picture of the story. Story is not just about a hero falling from 200 feet and flying cars. Story they want to see, which is real story. It's not about the realistic or village story, but it is driving towards that. So which is in a way good news for the industry also, that audience are choosing good cinema today. Which is how even the makers are changing. Makers are getting into making more real cinema.